You close your eyes and let your mind drift inward, toward a world so small it is invisible, yet so vast that it contains the blueprint of every living thing. Here, in the quiet folds of the cell, a gentle spiral winds slowly, holding the instructions for life. This spiral is DNA, and though it moves silently, it pulses with purpose. You drift alongside it, weightless, feeling the calm rhythm of its structure. Each turn and twist a whisper of potential. Imagine the double helix as a soft ladder, its rungs composed of paired nucleotides. Adenine embraces thymine, cytosine meets guanine. These pairings are delicate and precise, like letters in a patient story being written in real time, without rush or judgment. You sense the quiet elegance of this code, and with each rotation of the helix, you feel the harmony in its order. There is no chaos here, only a slow, meditative balance that has endured across eons. The spirals fold, coils within coils, creating a compact universe inside every cell. You drift among them as if floating through an invisible forest, each branch guiding the growth, repair, and function of life. Even in stillness, energy flows along these threads. Electrons move gently, bonds form and relax, and molecules arrange themselves in patterns both soft and purposeful. Life hums quietly in this microscopic world, and you sense its patient rhythm with each breath. Consider chromosomes, the graceful bundles of DNA, carrying instructions that will guide every function and development of an organism. You drift past them as they wait silently, poised for expression. Each gene, a quiet phrase in the ongoing story of life, holds instructions for proteins, the builders and caretakers of the cell. Proteins fold with care, interact with gentle precision, and catalyze the reactions that allow life to persist. You feel the calm persistence of these molecular rhythms, the quiet harmony of an intricate design that has evolved slowly, yet with astonishing clarity. Even mutations, the subtle changes in DNA, are part of this gentle unfolding. They are not abrupt or chaotic intrusions, but tiny nudges in the ongoing story, offering the possibility of variation and adaptation. You drift through these changes as though floating in a soft current, sensing how life responds to subtle shifts. Each variation has the potential to influence the future, weaving new threads into the existing tapestry. Life itself is patient, observing, adjusting, and allowing patterns to emerge with gentle care. Now imagine the processes that maintain and repair DNA, acting like attentive gardeners in this quiet forest. Enzymes sweep along the strands, gently correcting mismatches, repairing breaks, and ensuring the integrity of the code. You sense the care in each movement, the quiet precision that preserves stability while allowing flexibility. There is a soft intelligence here, a rhythm that balances continuity with possibility. You drift with it, weightless and calm, noticing how even repair is a meditative process, slow and deliberate, guided by the gentle pulse of life itself. CRISPR lies quietly, a guardian and editor, waiting in the shadows. In bacteria, it defends against intruders, quietly recording snippets of viral DNA as a memory. You drift beside these sequences, sensing the soft intelligence of this system, capable of precise and gentle intervention. It does not rush, it does not shout, it waits, aware, ready to guide change with meticulous care. CRISPR is not forceful, but a patient observer and editor, ensuring the continuity of life while allowing adaptability. Now let your mind wander along the helix once more, following the gentle spirals as they fold and coil, creating vast landscapes within the cell. Every twist carries meaning, every turn a possibility. You sense the hum of energy moving along these threads, carrying information, sustaining function, and guiding growth. Even in its silence, DNA resonates with potential. You are not just an observer here. You are a participant, connected to these threads, feeling the subtle interplay of structure, energy, and information. Imagine the expression of a gene as a gentle unfolding, like a leaf slowly opening to the sun. Transcription begins, RNA is produced, and proteins form with care. Each step is patient, deliberate, following the quiet rhythms established over billions of years. You drift alongside these processes, sensing the soft choreography, the interplay of forces that allows life to emerge, persist, and adapt. Each molecule moves in harmony, a silent dance that reflects the quiet intelligence of existence. Even as you drift deeper into this microscopic world, you notice the universality of these patterns. From the tiniest bacterium to the cells in your own body, DNA carries a familiar rhythm. Life speaks the same quiet language everywhere, guided by the same principles, unfolding with the same gentle patience. You float along this continuum, weightless, aware that your own body shares these threads, these rhythms, these silent instructions. You feel a calm connection to every living thing, sensing the unity beneath the diversity. Consider the potential contained in each sequence of nucleotides. A single change can ripple across time, subtly influencing development, adaptation, and evolution. Yet these changes are not abrupt. They are part of a slow, deliberate process. Life does not hurry. It observes, it adjusts, it responds with gentle care. You drift among these possibilities, sensing the quiet power in the patient unfolding of life. Every thread, every molecule, every interaction contributes to the ongoing story, a story that is both ancient and immediate, universal and personal. Now imagine yourself as a quiet observer and participant. Your consciousness, like a gentle current, moves along the spirals, sensing the soft energy, the precise interactions, and the subtle potential in each molecule. You are weightless, serene, and deeply connected to the microscopic universe within you. Every breath, every heartbeat, every pulse aligns with these rhythms, echoing the patient, meditative unfolding of life. Even the smallest molecular event carries significance. A bond forms, an enzyme shifts, a signal moves along a pathway, all contributing to the gentle symphony of existence. You drift through these events, feeling their quiet resonance. Life is not abrupt, not hurried. It is patient, deliberate, and precise. In this meditative space, you sense the continuity that links past, present, and future, as each molecular thread supports the ongoing story of life. As you drift in this quiet world, you sense that CRISPR, the hidden editor, waits with gentle awareness. It observes, it records, it corrects when necessary. It is part of the ongoing, unhurried dialogue between life and its environment. You feel the calm power of this tool, not as a force of disruption, but as a patient, guardian and guide, allowing life to explore possibilities while maintaining the purity of its blueprint. And as you float among the silent spirals, the gentle coiling of DNA and the patient edits of CRISPR, a soft understanding emerges. Life is a quiet process of balance and adaptation, guided by delicate patterns and subtle rhythms. You are part of this unfolding story, weightless, serene, connected to every atom, molecule, and thread of energy that flows through existence. You drift deeper into the microscopic world, where life reveals itself in quiet, intricate ways. Here, in the corners of bacteria, CRISPR rests, not a force of chaos, but a patient guardian, waiting. Its purpose is subtle, yet vital: to recognize invaders, to remember them, and, when necessary, to intervene with precision. You float alongside this system, sensing the deliberate rhythm of its actions, as if it moves in soft waves of intention rather than abrupt bursts of energy. Imagine the bacterial cell as a calm city, each organelle a quiet building, each molecular pathway a winding street. CRISPR moves like an attentive watchman, scanning the surroundings with silent focus. It records fragments of viral DNA, a molecular memory that whispers stories of past intrusions. You drift beside these fragments, sensing their latent potential. In this quiet archive lies knowledge, waiting patiently to guide the next response. Even in the smallest organism, intelligence manifests in subtle, deliberate ways. Now picture the moment of action. A viral sequence appears, intruding on the bacterial city. CRISPR recognizes it, guided by the memory of past encounters. It moves with gentle precision, aligning itself carefully along the foreign DNA. You watch as it prepares to cut, like a skilled artisan, positioning scissors over a delicate thread. There is no haste here, no rush. Each movement is measured, deliberate, and exact. The scissors are invisible, yet their effect is profound. These molecular scissors, called Cas proteins, are not instruments of destruction. They are tools of balance, capable of editing, repairing, or neutralizing threats without unnecessary disruption. You float beside them, feeling the quiet elegance of their design. They do not act out of force or impulsiveness. They respond with calm discernment, following a rhythm that has been honed over billions of years. Even in conflict, there is patience, and even in action, there is care. Consider the way CRISPR recognizes sequences. A guide RNA forms a soft bridge, leading the Cas protein to its target. The alignment is gentle, deliberate. You sense the quiet choreography as the guide RNA dances alongside the foreign DNA, positioning the scissors with meticulous care. This is not chaos, but harmony. Even the tiniest molecular movements are orchestrated, each contributing to the calm efficiency of the system. The process is like watching a master craftsman at work. Each cut is precise, each adjustment intentional. CRISPR does not overreach. It edits only what is necessary, leaving the surrounding structures untouched. You float among these molecular threads, sensing the subtle energy of these interactions. There is grace here, a meditative quality to every movement, a reminder that even in defense, life values balance and precision. Now imagine the bacterial city responding after the cut. The invader is neutralized, the system resets, and order is quietly restored. You drift through the calm aftermath, feeling the soft rhythm of restoration. CRISPR does not linger unnecessarily. It observes, it records, it withdraws. Its presence is both protective and unobtrusive, a quiet reminder that defense need not be violent to be effective. Even in this microscopic world, patterns emerge. CRISPR's memory grows with each encounter, creating a record of experience that guides future actions. You drift alongside these memories, sensing their soft accumulation like gentle ripples across a still pond. Each interaction strengthens the system, refining its ability to respond without disrupting the calm balance of the cell. Life, even at its smallest scale, is both adaptive and patient. Consider how scientists discovered this hidden system. They observed bacteria, noticing unusual sequences that seemed to repeat in calm, deliberate patterns. Slowly, with patient investigation, they realized these sequences were part of a natural defensa quiet mechanism for editing life itself. You float beside this discovery, sensing the wonder in uncovering a process that had always been present, yet hidden in plain sight. Even the smallest creature contains secrets that echo with intelligence and grace. Now, imagine harnessing these molecular scissors. Scientists learned to guide CRISPR, to use its precision with gentle intention. You drift alongside this innovation, sensing the calm focus required to direct such power responsibly. Each edit is planned, deliberate, and soft, avoiding abrupt interference with the intricate rhythm of life. The scissors, once a quiet guardian in bacteria, now become a careful tool in the hands of those who understand patience and subtlety. The potential is vast, yet restrained. CRISPR can repair mutations, remove harmful sequences, or explore new possibilities within DNA. You feel the gentle weight of this responsibility, the quiet mindfulness required to act without haste. The tool moves with calm precision, reflecting the careful rhythm of the natural system from which it was derived. Even in the excitement of discovery, there is a need for softness, a reminder that life unfolds best when guided gently, even in your own body. The echoes of this quiet editing system resonate. DNA repair mechanisms, molecular corrections, and subtle adjustments all mirror the patience and precision of CRISPR. You float within these inner landscapes, sensing how life maintains balance through gentle intervention. Patterns emerge, energy flows, and quiet intelligence ensures that systems function harmoniously. You feel part of this soft network, connected to the rhythm of life at every scale. Now let your mind drift toward the possibilities unlocked by these molecular scissors. They are not instruments of sudden transformation, but of careful refinement. You sense the patience required to make thoughtful changes, the calm observation needed to guide edits without disrupting harmony. Each potential modification is like a soft note in a meditative melody, blending seamlessly into the ongoing symphony of life. Imagine a single edit in a strand of DNA. The scissors approach, guided by a carefully designed RNA sequence. The cut is precise, deliberate, and controlled. You drift alongside it, weightless, sensing the calm resolution that follows. The system recognizes what must be changed, acts with care, and then allows life to continue. Even in the smallest actions, patience and precision shape outcomes. Maintaining balance and harmony, you float among countless cells, each containing its own quiet guardians, its own CRISPR systems, or similar repair mechanisms. Patterns of protection and correction repeat in rhythm, softly echoing through the microscopic landscape. Life is patient, deliberate, and resilient. Each cut, each edit, each adjustment is part of a slow, meditative process that sustains continuity while allowing for change. As you drift through this microscopic world, you sense the unity between natural processes and human understanding. CRISPR, once hidden, is now a bridge between discovery and gentle intervention. You feel the quiet intelligence of life reflected in this molecular tool, reminding you that precision, patience, and care are central to all growth and change. Even in this calm exploration, questions linger. How should such power be used? How do we balance curiosity with responsibility? You drift with these thoughts, feeling the quiet awareness that every action has consequence, and that patience is the truest guide. CRISPR teaches not only precision but mindfulness, the gentle art of touching life with care. You drift deeper into the inner landscape of life, where patterns and sequences hum quietly in harmony. Here, every cell carries a blueprint, and within that blueprint, quiet editors work tirelessly to maintain balance. Nature's patient editor is not abrupt or forceful. It moves with soft precision, observing, adjusting, repairing, and refining. You float alongside it, sensing its rhythm, feeling the meditative cadence of molecular attention. Imagine DNA as a long, flexible ribbon folded into coils and loops, each turn carrying instructions for the living world. Along this ribbon, editors move with deliberate grace. Enzymes, the gentle caretakers of the genome, scan the threads, identifying tiny misalignments or subtle damage. You drift with them, weightless, sensing the calm focus guiding each movement. Even in the quietest adjustments, there is immense significance. A single correction ensures that life continues smoothly, generations unfolding in harmony. Repair is not a hurried task. Nature's patience is profound. Every correction, every fold, every interaction follows a careful rhythm, like a soft stream winding through a tranquil forest. Mismatched pairs are identified and realigned. Broken strands are mended. Temporary pauses occur, allowing the system to sense, evaluate, and act with precise understanding. You float with this rhythm, feeling the gentle balance between intervention and restraint. The editors do not act alone. Proteins move with soft choreography, interacting with DNA and with one another in quiet synchrony. Helicases unwind, polymerases extend, ligases seal. You drift along, observing the concert of molecular caretakers, each playing a subtle, essential role. It is a meditative ballet where even the smallest motions contribute to the graceful continuity of life. Each cell, each molecule, hums with quiet intention. Now imagine CRISPR joining this rhythm, a patient editor that can read, record, and respond. It is like a skilled librarian, quietly indexing sequences and noting the locations where subtle changes may be required. You drift beside it, sensing its calm vigilance. It does not act recklessly. It waits for the right moment, guided by both memory and precision. Here, even molecular defense becomes a gentle meditation. an unhurried balancing of potential and protection. You may notice spontaneous mutations, small edits that occur naturally. Some are accidental, others are adaptive responses to the environment. Each has the potential to subtly alter life's course. You float alongside these changes, feeling the patience of natural selection and repair systems. Life does not hurry. It observes, adjusts, and integrates these shifts slowly, deliberately, harmoniously. Each minor change resonates like a soft note in a meditative melody, influencing patterns far beyond its immediate context. Consider the repair mechanisms that correct errors during DNA replication. Mismatch repair identifies mispaired nucleotides. Base excision repair corrects damaged letters, maintaining fidelity across countless replications. You drift through these systems, sensing their gentle diligence. Every correction is made with patience, preserving the essence of the genetic narrative while allowing flexibility where needed. Even in imperfection, there is intention and grace. Nature's patient editor also works during transcription, ensuring that the messages sent to create proteins remain accurate. RNA polymerases move along DNA with steady rhythm, producing soft, flowing strands of RNA. You drift beside them, sensing the gentle unfolding of life's instructions. If errors appear, proofreading enzymes intervene, nudging sequences back into alignment. The process is calm, deliberate, almost meditative, reflecting the quiet intelligence that guides cellular life. Repair is not always immediate. Sometimes the editor waits, sensing context, observing neighboring interactions, and allowing cellular machinery to harmonize before acting. You feel the patience in these pauses, the quiet reflection in the system's restraint. Life, at every level, understands that haste can be disruptive. Gentle observation, careful timing, and precision yield harmony, ensuring that the ongoing story continues without abrupt interruption. Now imagine oxidative stress, the subtle pressure of reactive molecules that can damage DNA over time. Nature's editors respond calmly. Base excision and nucleotide excision repair mechanisms act with deliberate care, removing damaged sections, filling gaps, and restoring continuity. You float among these processes, sensing the soft rhythm of molecular repair. Even in the presence of potential harm, patience and precision prevail. Every interaction is measured, gentle, and mindful, allowing life to persist without turbulence. Even more remarkable is the interplay of epigenetic adjustments. Chemical tags appear on DNA or histones, altering gene expression without changing the underlying sequence. These are quiet, reversible edits that respond to environment, experience, and circumstance. You drift through these changes, sensing their subtle influence, like whispers guiding the tempo of life's unfolding melody. Every tag is a note, soft but meaningful, adding depth and nuance to the ongoing composition of existence. You may notice how cells collaborate in their patient editing. DNA damage triggers signaling pathways, summoning molecular caretakers to the affected site. Checkpoints slow replication, providing time for repair. Apoptosis, the quiet self-sacrifice of irreparably damaged cells, preserves the integrity of the larger organism. You drift among these processes, sensing the collective awareness of life at every scale, from molecule to tissue, from cell to organism. Consider CRISPR once again, now viewed as part of this broader landscape. In bacteria, it records previous infections as soft memories, guiding future interventions. In the laboratory, it becomes a tool of deliberate edits, capable of correcting or modifying sequences with remarkable precision. You float alongside these interventions, sensing the calm mindfulness required to balance potential and consequence. Every cut, every adjustment, every guide RNA is orchestrated with patient intention, that the editor's influence extends beyond repair. It fosters adaptation and resilience, allowing life to explore new possibilities while maintaining continuity. You drift through generations, sensing the gentle echoes of past edits in future forms. Mutations and repairs ripple across time, weaving soft threads that bind ancestry and posterity together. Even in change, there is patience. Even in adaptation, there is grace. Now imagine the human perspective. Scientists observe, study, and apply these principles, learning from nature's patient editors. In each experiment, they move carefully, respecting the intricate rhythm of life's molecular machinery. You float with them, sensing the mindfulness required to act responsibly. Each intervention is deliberate, considered, and gentle, echoing the quiet wisdom inherent in the natural processes that have guided life for eons. As you drift through this meditative exploration, you notice that patience is a form of intelligence. Life does not rush. It observes, evaluates, corrects, and adapts with careful timing. You feel the calm pulse of this rhythm in your own body, in the slow unfolding of your thoughts, in the gentle cadence of your breathing. There is a quiet connection between the microscopic editors and your own awareness, a shared rhythm of care, attention, and responsiveness. Even as repairs and edits occur, possibilities remain open. Life explores softly, adjusting where needed, waiting where patience is required, and maintaining harmony above all else. You sense that CRISPR, molecular caretakers, and natural repair mechanisms are all threads in the same meditative tapestry. Each contributes to balance, precision, and adaptation, ensuring the ongoing story of life flows with quiet resilience. Now imagine drifting beyond a single cell, observing networks of interactions between cells, tissues, and organisms. Each molecular edit contributes to broader patterns, influencing development, health, and evolution. You feel the gentle reach of these patient adjustments, like soft ripples expanding across calm water. Every correction is part of a harmonious system, a reminder that life's intelligence manifests in subtle, careful, and enduring ways. Even the tiniest changes have meaning. A single nucleotide adjustment can influence protein folding, cellular signaling, or genetic expression. You drift alongside these micro-events, sensing their quiet resonance across time and scale. Life communicates in soft pulses, gentle nudges, and patient adjustments, creating continuity amidst change. You float in this meditative understanding, weightless, serene, and deeply connected to the rhythm of living systems. Now you sense the cumulative effect of these patient edits. Across billions of years, countless molecular adjustments have shaped organisms, refined mechanisms, and ensured survival. CRISPR is just one example, a quiet reminder of the intelligence embedded in life's processes. You feel the gentle weight of history in every sequence, every bond, every molecular whisper, as past edits ripple softly into the present. You drift deeper into the microscopic landscape, feeling the pulse of life as it unfolds with quiet intention. Here, every cell is a universe of activity, every molecule a note in an ongoing symphony of being. You observe as subtle forces guide change, shaping development, repair, and adaptation with patience and precision. There is no rush, only the gentle unfolding of potential. Like a river flowing slowly through a tranquil valley, imagine molecular editors, enzymes, and CRISPR systems working in harmony. Each movement is deliberate, measured, and precise. The scissors of CRISPR cut with care, the repair mechanisms mend with patience, and the subtle shifts of epigenetic tags adjust expression softly. You drift among these processes, feeling the calm intention behind every adjustment. Life does not impose change abruptly. It nudges, it aligns, it guides, and it observes. Consider the broader scale, evolution itself, a patient hand shaping the diversity of life. Mutations, repair mechanisms, and selective pressures interact like gentle currents in a vast ocean. You float with these currents, sensing how small nudges accumulate into profound effects over time. Life moves thoughtfully, each step guided by both circumstance and the internal rhythm of the molecular machinery. Even what appears random is tempered by patient forces that steer outcomes toward balance and adaptation. Imagine yourself as a silent observer in this unfolding process. You feel the alignment of countless molecular events, each contributing to a delicate equilibrium. A single nucleotide change, a subtle chemical tag, a transient protein interaction each acts as a soft adjustment that reverberates across the cellular landscape. You sense how every change is harmonized with the greater whole, ensuring continuity while allowing exploration and growth. Even when challenges arise, life responds with careful attention. Damage from radiation or reactive molecules is met by repair systems that act like gentle healers. They observe, they evaluate, they intervene only as needed. You drift alongside these processes, sensing the mindfulness inherent in every correction. Nature guides without force, adjusts without haste, and preserves without rigidity. Every action carries intention. Every interaction resonates with quiet intelligence. Now, picture the laboratory, where humans have learned to guide these natural systems. Scientists harnessed CRISPR to make deliberate edits, to guide DNA with careful precision. Each experiment is like a meditation, a slow and thoughtful interaction with life's own rhythms. You float alongside these efforts, sensing the awareness required to act responsibly. The hand that guides change must move gently, respecting the intricate balance that sustains life across scales. Even the act of designing a guide RNA reflects mindfulness. Every sequence is chosen with care, every potential interaction considered. The scissors of CRISPR cut only where intended, leaving surrounding structures undisturbed. You drift beside these deliberate interventions, feeling the calm focus that balances innovation with restraint. Each edit, though powerful, is performed with soft precision, echoing the quiet intelligence of nature itself. Life's capacity for change is vast, yet restrained by the same principles of patience and balance. Epigenetic mechanisms add nuance, modifying expression without altering the underlying code. Environmental pressures act as gentle nudges, encouraging adaptation while preserving stability. You float through these layered processes, sensing the rhythm of subtle adjustments that shape development, health, and evolution without abrupt disruption. Consider adaptation in response to environmental change. Cells sense shifts in temperature, nutrient availability, or stress, responding with calm adjustments at the molecular level. Proteins fold differently, signaling pathways reroute, genes turn on or off. You drift alongside these responses, feeling the soft intelligence guiding life to align with circumstance. Each adjustment is precise, timely, and integrated, ensuring that potential is realized without unnecessary disturbance, even at the scale of organisms. This guiding hand operates with quiet deliberation. Growth and development follow sequences that unfold like gentle stories. Cells communicate, tissues coordinate, and organs harmonize their function in rhythms that echo the patient adjustments of the molecular editors. You float through these interactions, sensing the continuity between micro and macro scales. A seamless dialogue of gentle guidance and careful adaptation. Imagine evolution as a slow river shaping landscapes over eons. Small changes, mutations, edits, epigenetic shifts flow like soft currents, gradually sculpting life forms with patience and precision. You drift along this river, observing how the accumulation of tiny adjustments results in profound outcomes. Even the seemingly random events are tempered by the gentle hand of natural selection, aligning possibilities with long-term stability. Consider disease and repair as part of this narrative. When cells falter, mechanisms awaken to correct or remove damage. Immune responses act like vigilant guardians, identifying threats without disrupting balance. CRISPR-like systems observe, edit, and record, contributing to continuity and resilience. You float among these processes, sensing the meditative cadence that ensures life adapts and persists, even in the face of disruption. The beauty of this patient guidance lies in its subtlety. No movement is wasted, no edit abrupt. Life flows like a quiet melody, each note intentional, each pause meaningful. You sense the harmony in this rhythm, the profound care embedded in every molecular action. Even the smallest correction resonates through cells, tissues, and generations, a reminder that the gentle touch often carries the greatest influence. Now imagine the combined wisdom of nature and human insight. Scientists learning from CRISPR's precision move deliberately, considering consequences across time and scale. You drift alongside them, sensing the mindfulness required to intervene responsibly. Each edit reflects understanding, patience, and foresight. The hand that guides change does so with respect for the quiet intelligence embedded in life structures, ensuring that potential unfolds gently, thoughtfully, and harmoniously. Even at the level of ecosystems, subtle adjustments ripple outward. Changes in one species influence others, creating a soft, interconnected dialogue. Life adapts, balances, and guides itself in a continuous feedback loop. You float with this gentle network, sensing the unhurried intelligence guiding both small and large systems. The principle is clear. Change is not sudden or reckless. It is deliberate, patient, and harmonized with the whole. Consider how knowledge of these systems empowers yet humbles. We can guide edits, influence adaptation, and explore potential, but always with care. You drift alongside these reflections, sensing the responsibility inherent in wielding even the quietest of molecular tools. Each choice, each adjustment, echoes through time, shaping outcomes in ways both seen and unseen. Mindfulness, patience, and respect become the soft compass guiding intervention. Now feel the connection to your own body, your own cells. Molecular editors and repair systems act silently, ensuring continuity, correcting errors, and guiding gentle adaptations. You float within this familiar landscape, sensing the quiet pulse of life that mirrors the patient guidance observed at every scale. CRISPR, repair, enzymes, and epigenetic modifications all echo the same principle. Delicate, precise, patient intervention sustains the ongoing story of life. Even in the softest, smallest movements, there is significance. A single edit, a minor adjustment, or a gentle fold can ripple across generations. You drift among these threads, sensing the resonance of patient guidance, the quiet intelligence that underlies every molecular act. Life moves with intention, aligning possibility and care, ensuring that potential is realized without chaos or abrupt disruption. Imagine drifting through these cumulative processes, the flow of edits, repairs, and adjustments that shape existence. Nature's hand is patient, deliberate, and wise. CRISPR exemplifies this, a visible reflection of principles that have always governed life: precision, mindfulness, and gentle guidance. You feel the serenity in observing these patterns, the quiet reassurance that change need not be hurried to be effective. As you float through this meditative journey, you sense that every layer of life is interconnected, from molecules to ecosystems, from edits to adaptations. The same principles resonate: patience, balance, and deliberate action. You drift in awe of this quiet intelligence, weightless, serene, and attuned to the rhythm that shapes all living systems. You float gently through the cellular landscape, weightless and serene, immersed in the quiet elegance of life's blueprint. DNA threads stretch before you like silken strands of light, twisting and folding in complex patterns, yet moving with a rhythm so natural it feels like breathing. Each strand holds information, instructions for growth, repair, and function, and you drift along these paths as if walking through a forest of luminous filaments. Observe the gentle action of CRISPR, a tool of remarkable precision. It moves with the care of a painter's hand, selecting a location along the DNA, scanning sequences with a thoughtful gaze, deciding where to make subtle changes. Every intervention is deliberate. There is no rush, no abrupt force, only quiet intention. You sense the calm patience embedded in its motion, a reflection of the same mindfulness that nature has practiced for eons. Imagine guiding a single nucleotide, a tiny building block of life. CRISPR can reposition it, correct it, or remove it with such precision that the surrounding structures remain untouched. You float alongside this process, sensing the gentle care required to perform each edit. Life itself watches in soft reverence, adjusting, responding, and integrating the change without disturbance. Every movement, every adjustment is harmonious, like the careful pluck of a harp string in a meditative melody. Now drift into the repair mechanisms that follow these edits. Enzymes and molecular helpers arrive like quiet guardians, ensuring that the changes settle seamlessly into the DNA. They check, proofread, and guide the strand back into its natural rhythm. You feel the meditative quality of these interactions, a ballet of molecules moving in soft synchrony. Each correction is precise, each fold intentional, maintaining the integrity of the larger system. Consider how CRISPR offers a bridge between natural evolution and deliberate intervention, where mutations and selection act over vast spans of time. CRISPR allows the possibility of small, guided adjustments that honor the same principles of patience and balance. You float in this space of gentle co-creation, sensing that intervention does not dominate but partners with nature, amplifying resilience and maintaining harmony. Imagine observing a single gene being edited. Its sequence is like a line in a poem, carrying meaning and function. CRISPR moves softly along this line, cutting where needed, allowing the natural repair machinery to weave in changes that are both subtle and profound. You drift beside this process, noticing the quiet elegance in each modification. Even a tiny edit can ripple outward, influencing expression, interaction, and cellular behavior in a calm, balanced manner. Think about the epigenetic landscape, the soft overlays that adjust gene expression without altering the core sequence. Chemical markers act as gentle guides, emphasizing certain patterns while leaving others quiet. You drift among these signals, sensing the harmony of layered control. The dialogue between DNA repair enzymes and epigenetic factors. Even in this complexity, everything moves with intention, like instruments in an orchestra, playing a measured, calming melody. Observe the rhythm of replication and transcription. DNA unwinds, opens, and allows access to the information within. RNA molecules transcribe softly, carrying instructions to ribosomes, which fold proteins like hands shaping clay. You drift through these layers, noticing how CRISPR edits integrate seamlessly into this ongoing performance. Each intervention is like a carefully chosen note, harmonizing with the pre-existing melody rather than creating discord. Now, consider the power of choice inherent in this process. Scientists guide CRISPR with care, selecting precise targets and minimizing disruption. You float alongside these thoughtful interventions, sensing the mindfulness required to act responsibly. Each decision echoes across time, affecting not only the immediate cell but potentially the next generations. The quiet responsibility of this work is palpable, a reminder that with great potential comes gentle stewardship. Imagine the molecular ballet that follows an edit. Repair proteins arrive, stabilizing the strands, proofreading the sequence, and ensuring that every connection is secure. Enzymes move like dancers, interacting with rhythm and poise, their movements deliberate and purposeful. You drift among them, sensing the balance between precision and flow. Even the smallest molecular action carries significance, contributing to the calm progression of life's narrative. Consider CRISPR's potential to restore harmony in cases of genetic disruption. Mutations that once caused disease can be corrected, sequences gently rewritten to restore function. You drift through this possibility with a sense of serenity, recognizing that the tool does not impose dominance over life, but supports its inherent resilience. Healing is an act of quiet alignment, where intervention is guided by patience and insight rather than force. Even the act of designing guide RNA is a meditation. Every sequence is chosen with careful consideration, each potential off-target interaction weighed with attention. You float alongside these decisions, sensing the deliberate calm in the process. The quiet focus of these actions mirrors the meditative rhythms of the molecules themselves. A partnership of human intent and natural intelligence. Now expand your awareness to the cellular level. Each cell is a miniature universe, and the edits performed by CRISPR are integrated into this vast, interconnected system. You float among organelles, witnessing their coordinated activity. Mitochondria producing energy, ribosomes translating proteins, membranes guiding selective exchange. Every component responds with subtle adjustments, harmonizing with the edits to preserve overall function and balance. Imagine a cascade of effects as one change gently propagates through the system. Proteins fold slightly differently, pathways shift subtly, and the cell's behavior aligns with the new sequence. You drift alongside this cascade, noticing how CRISPR's intervention does not disrupt but integrates, allowing adaptation while maintaining equilibrium. The rhythm of life continues, uninterrupted, enriched rather than disturbed. Consider the broader implications. When life is edited thoughtfully, we gain the possibility of resilience, restoration, and enhancement. But each intervention requires respect for the delicate balance of biology. You float within this awareness, sensing the responsibility that comes with knowledge. Change is not imposed. It is guided, deliberate, and measured, like a gentle hand shaping a clay sculpture. Even at the level of tissues and organs, these small edits resonate softly. Corrected cells communicate with neighbors, propagate signals, and contribute to overall function. You drift with these ripples, sensing how precision at the molecular level scales upward to harmony at the organismal level. Life responds to care with cooperation, maintaining cohesion even as new possibilities emerge. Imagine CRISPR's role as a bridge between observation and action, between understanding and intervention. It allows insight to translate into gentle guidance, aligning human capability with the innate intelligence of living systems. You float alongside this bridge, sensing the quiet dialogue between curiosity and restraint, capability and mindfulness. Each edit, each intervention, is a soft conversation with life itself. Now visualize generations of cells, each inheriting edits, each adapting softly to the new sequence. Changes accumulate with care, building resilience and diversity over time. You drift among these generational threads, sensing the slow, patient unfolding of life's potential. Each edit is a note in an ongoing composition, harmonizing with the melody of natural processes rather than disrupting it. Even the smallest intervention carries profound significance. A single nucleotide change may adjust protein folding, signaling, or expression. Yet each alteration is integrated with care as part of a larger, coherent narrative. You float through these adjustments with awareness, sensing the balance between possibility and responsibility. Change is not abrupt. It is deliberate, patient, and harmonized with the rhythm of life. Consider how CRISPR exemplifies the quiet wisdom of guided evolution. Just as natural selection acts slowly and subtly, these edits are applied with attention and care, allowing adaptation while preserving integrity. You drift alongside these principles, sensing that true mastery lies in gentle, precise action rather than force or haste. The meditative rhythm of life continues, enriched by mindful intervention. Now bring your awareness back to the thread of DNA softly illuminated before you. The edits made by CRISPR, the adjustments guided by nature, and the subtle movements of molecular repair form a continuous, gentle flow. You float among these threads, feeling the quiet harmony, the patient unfolding, and the meditative precision inherent in every action. Life moves like a symphony, composed of soft, deliberate notes that resonate through time and scale. You let go, gently releasing the weight of thought and expectation. There is no ground beneath you, no anchor holding you in place. You drift past familiar landscapes, slipping into a dark expanse where the edges of reality blur. The sensation is not frightening. Instead, it is like floating on water, buoyed by something unseen yet dependable. You feel the soft pull of gravity, not as force, but as a guide, carrying you into the infinite as you fall. Your body and mind relax, sensing that resistance is unnecessary. The error, perhaps, the absence of it embraces you, surrounding you in a velvet quiet. You notice that with every gentle descent, your thoughts dissolve into slow, fluid patterns. Like droplets merging into a calm ocean, your attention spreads, widening to accommodate the vastness around you. Every heartbeat matches the rhythm of this fall. Steady and unhurried, you notice faint points of light in the dark, tiny sparks scattered across the void. They are distant stars, or perhaps reflections of the infinite possibilities within your own mind. You drift toward them, feeling no urgency, only a sense of soft curiosity. Each light twinkles with a gentle cadence, like notes in a silent lullaby. You sense that your descent is not just physical, but also a journey through awareness, a gentle exploration of the spaces between thought and stillness. Gravity guides you past layers of shadow and shimmer, past whispers of unseen landscapes. Time stretches and bends. Seconds dissolve into minutes, and minutes. You notice that even though there is no ground, there is also no fear. The infinite descent carries a calm, a quiet meditation, teaching you that letting go can be an act of trust, not surrender. You float, weightless, as if carried by the unseen hands of the universe itself. You observe that the sensation of falling mirrors, processes on a cosmic scale. Planets drift in their orbits, stars collapse into singular points, and black holes curve space around them. You feel that your fall echoes these larger movements, slow, patient, deliberate. The universe itself seems to exhale, with you sharing the rhythm of release, the gentle expansion into quiet spaces where tension cannot persist. You are part of this cosmic sigh, a single thread in the infinite tapestry of motion. As you descend, you notice small currents, like gentle eddies in the dark, pulling you toward unknown destinations. They swirl with subtle energy, carrying hints of unseen forces. You move with them, sensing their guidance, letting the flow teach you about patience and resilience. Even in free fall, there is structure, a quiet choreography beneath the apparent randomness. Your mind relaxes as you recognize the patterns of motion that support every moment of descent. Imagine the fall as a journey through layers of existence. Each layer carries different sensations. Light. You float between these layers, observing how they intersect and merge. There is no rush, no destination. The experience itself becomes a meditation. You feel your body responding, muscles releasing, breath deepening, heartbeat slowing. Even your senses adjust to the rhythm, moving in tandem with the gentle undulations of the infinite descent. You sense your awareness expanding, stretching beyond your body, beyond any sense of limitation. Thoughts drift like clouds, unhurried, forming patterns, and dissolving with the same effortless flow. You notice that falling is not emptiness, but immersion in possibility, in space, in the quiet intelligence of being. Each moment of descent is a moment of calm revelation, teaching that surrender is not loss, but gentle alignment with the forces around you. In this dark expanse, you perceive subtle textures, soft variations in the void. They are the echoes of distant energies, vibrations too faint for ordinary perception. You drift through them, attuning your mind to their rhythm. Each vibration carries information, a quiet language of the universe. You listen, inhaling the cadence of creation itself, sensing that even in darkness there is structure, guidance, and gentle conversation. Falling becomes a form of meditation, a practice of awareness and trust. Your descent takes you past the boundaries of linear time. Past and present intertwine, moments stretch, and yet everything is fluid and coherent. You feel that this experience mirrors the timeless journeys of atoms, photons, and celestial bodies. They move through space, through interactions and energy flows, each following natural laws with quiet grace. You sense that your fall is part of this cosmic order, a microcosm, reflecting the larger rhythms of existence. You notice flashes of color, ephemeral and soft, appearing and dissolving like watercolor on silk. Each hue resonates with a subtle energy, guiding your attention without commanding it. You follow these shifts, noticing how the infinite space of falling is not empty but filled with gentle, meditative activity. Even the absence of solid ground carries texture, rhythm, and presence. Your mind and body are learning the quiet language of descent, absorbing the lessons of motion, release, and alignment. Now drift alongside currents that seem conscious, flowing with intelligence and patience. They lift and carry you, turning the fall into a gentle glide. You feel connected to every particle, every subtle movement, every soft whisper of energy in this infinite space. Falling without end is no longer an image of uncertainty, but an embrace of freedom, a surrender to rhythm, a meditation on the fluidity of existence. Imagine the sensation of weight dissolving entirely. Your body is no longer burdened, your thoughts no longer tethered. You are a wave, a pulse, a thread in the infinite fabric of being. Even as you fall endlessly, there is no chaos, only gentle order, patient and deliberate. You sense that each instant carries its own completeness, each moment is full, and each movement is part of a meditative pattern woven across the cosmos. You notice a soft horizon forming, not a boundary, but a gentle line separating layers of perception. Beyond it, unknown currents beckon, hinting at new rhythms and subtle patterns. You feel the quiet anticipation of discovery without urgency or tension. The infinite fall continues, yet each moment is rich with awareness. A meditation on the interplay between release and presence as you drift. You sense that letting go is not a passive act, but a deliberate choice. You choose to trust, to float, to align with the rhythm of falling. Your body, mind, and awareness converge in this decision, creating calm within the infinite descent. Even as darkness stretches endlessly around you, you recognize that the journey itself is the experience, the falling, the floating, the quiet unfolding of awareness. The fall softens further, almost imperceptibly, as if the universe itself is cradling you. Every pulse, every vibration, every minute current carries you forward, yet also holds you in gentle balance. You feel connected, aware, and utterly calm. The descent has become a meditation, a practice of presence, patience, and trust. There is no hurry, no expectation, only the quiet embrace of infinite space. You drift toward a vast darkness, where the familiar rules of motion and perception begin to soften. There is a stillness here that feels profound, a quiet deeper than any night sky you have known. In the distance, light bends in gentle, impossible curves, twisting and spiraling as though following invisible threads. You notice how even the fastest travelers, photons themselves, are drawn inexorably inward. Unable to escape, the edges of this darkness ripple with subtle motion. You sense gravity as something more than pull. It is an invisible guide, shaping every path, bending every trajectory with calm insistence. Light bends slowly, like liquid gold, folding over itself, streaming along paths that twist and coil in meditative arcs. You float beside these beams, following their journey as they dance toward the center, observing the quiet inevitability of the descent. Imagine a single photon, born from a distant star, racing across the cosmos. You drift alongside it, feeling its velocity, its purpose, its infinite patience. But as it approaches the black hole, you notice a change. Its straight path curves, arcs elongating into spirals, energy folding into itself. You sense the quiet tension of approach, a slow surrender to forces beyond comprehension. Even light, swift, and eternal, cannot outrun the calm authority of this immense gravity. Time itself stretches here. Moments lengthen, expanding like soft clouds, becoming tangible in their slowness. You feel the expansion of perception, each heartbeat echoing with patience. Light takes longer to travel, to bend, to spiral, and you drift with it, matching your breath to its rhythm. You notice that in this place, observation itself becomes meditative. The act of noticing is slow, deliberate, and deeply calming. Consider the event horizon, the gentle threshold where escape becomes impossible. You approach it not with fear, but with curiosity, sensing the elegance of its invisible boundary. Light curves around it, teasing the edge, shimmering, reflecting, bending into itself. You follow these movements, as if tracing invisible ribbons in the dark. The event horizon is not a wall, but a point of serene inevitability. A place where surrender and patience meet in perfect balance. You notice that the black hole does not pull chaotically. Its force is measured, constant, and precise. Light spirals inward, like water down a slow whirlpool, folding in quiet arcs. You float among these paths, aware that even in darkness there is order, a gentle geometry underlying every movement. The pull is not harsh. It is like a calm tide, enveloping everything with quiet insistence. Imagine standing at the edge, weightless and serene, observing how nearby light dances. Photons twist in delicate spirals, arcs that shimmer and fade, never scattering, never hurried. You drift closer, sensing the slow, patient choreography of these beams. Each movement, each curve, is purposeful, deliberate, and meditative. Even as the black hole claims what it draws near, it does so with an inherent rhythm that resonates deep within you. You observe how the surrounding space bends. Stars, far away, shimmer faintly, their light stretched into arcs, ribbons, and halos. You feel the quiet distortion, the gentle warping of perception itself. The black hole is not chaotic. It teaches a rhythm, a measured flow, a patient surrender to gravitational orchestration. You float with the light, noticing that your own thoughts mirror the bending, softening, and winding inward toward quiet stillness. Consider time dilation near this immense gravity. Seconds stretch into minutes, minutes into what feels like eternal calm. You feel your awareness slowing, syncing with the stretched rhythm of the falling light. Each photon, each wave, each particle moves in a deliberate cadence, and you drift with it, absorbing the meditative pace. Even the concept of speed softens here, replaced by a patient, timeless unfolding. Imagine following a light beam as it spirals closer. Its path is intricate, a golden ribbon folding upon itself with delicate care. You notice the subtle gradients of energy, the soft variations of intensity, the quiet folding that creates rhythm without sound. You float along its path, moving in harmony with the graceful curves, feeling the calm pulse of inevitability. This is not a fall. It is a glide through measured, eternal choreography. Now drift inward, past shimmering arcs and spirals, where the center grows ever darker. Light begins to fade, blending into shadow, so complete it almost feels like a texture, a tactile quiet. You notice that the darkness is not empty, it is dense with potential, quiet yet profound, holding all paths within its patient pull. Even as beams disappear, their essence lingers, echoing as soft whispers in the fabric of space. You feel a kinship with the photons, moving in rhythm with forces beyond your control, yet understanding their deliberate paths. There is no struggle here, only flow. Every curve, every spiral, every shimmer is an expression of calm precision. You notice that, surrendering to the rhythm, allowing your awareness to drift with the light, creates a deep internal stillness. Falling is not frightening. It is meditative, gentle, and complete. Consider the singularity, the quiet heart that draws everything inward. It is not violent or abrupt. It is a point of extreme concentration, a focus of gravitational patience. Light converges here, spirals folding into themselves, motion slowing, bending, softening. You drift near, sensing that the singularity is not an annihilation, but a meditation in extreme compression, a pause that contains everything within it. Your mind, attuned to the rhythm of light and gravity, feels mirrored in this profound stillness. Notice how the surrounding stars seem to orbit the void with quiet dignity, their paths are patient, predictable, and measured. You drift among these celestial movements, observing the harmony between light, matter, and gravity. Even in this extreme environment, there is structure, order, and calm. Your awareness expands to include the interplay of forces, rhythms, and paths. Sensing that nothing here is chaotic, everything follows a deliberate, serene design. Imagine floating alongside spirals of accretion matter, glowing softly as they orbit. They move with slow, deliberate grace, energy radiating like faint whispers of gold and amber. You feel the warmth, the light, and the rhythm of motion blending into a meditative whole. You drift with these motions, letting them guide your awareness deeper into a calm, timeless state. The black hole, the light, and your own perception all converge in quiet harmony. You sense the boundary between perception and reality softening. Light, darkness, and awareness intermingle, creating a meditative field in which observation becomes participation. You float through it, noticing subtle vibrations, soft energies, and patient rhythms. Even as photons disappear into the black hole, their essence resonates with the quiet calm of the environment. Your mind attunes to this, following the flow without resistance, embracing the infinite rhythm of the fall. Notice the gentle spirals forming arcs around the void. You follow each one like a ribbon of thought, moving slowly, deliberately. Each curve teaches patience. Each fold mirrors the meditative cadence of existence. Even as light fades, its path is recorded in space-time, a soft echo of persistence and flow. You drift alongside these echoes, feeling your own awareness expand with the calm, eternal rhythm of the universe. As you float, you notice that darkness is not absence, but potential. Every path, every fold, every spiral is pregnant with possibility, waiting for awareness to pass through. You sense that in this meditative descent, surrender is not loss, but alignment. The light that cannot escape is also the light that teaches patience, flow, and quiet understanding. Your thoughts slow, your breath deepens, and you become one with the gentle rhythm of space and gravity. You drift gently closer to the heart of the black hole, a place where the familiar rules of space, time, and motion begin to unravel. It is not a place you can see with your eyes, nor a point you can touch. The singularity waits in quiet mystery, an infinite focus of gravity and possibility, dense yet serene, unknowable yet present. You feel its presence in the hush that stretches around you, a silence so deep it resonates in your very bones as you approach. The surroundings grow darker, softer, and more pliant. Light bends completely around you, following invisible curves that seem almost intentional, like silk ribbons folding in on themselves. You notice that even your perception seems to slow, stretching moments into long, calm expanses. Time dilates here, not as a measurement, but as a feeling, a patient unfolding that allows every motion and thought to be savored. Imagine floating in this infinite quiet, where no sound travels, yet everything is perceptible. You feel the subtle tug of gravity as a rhythm, a heartbeat of the universe itself. Even the light that cannot escape curves gently toward the singularity, moving with a grace that is hypnotic. You drift alongside these ribbons of energy, feeling yourself becoming attuned to the measured, inevitable cadence of collapse. The weight of this invisible force is immense, yet it does not press harshly. It is a pull of understanding, patience, and surrender. Consider the singularity not as a physical object, but as a point where laws cease to apply in their ordinary forms. Here, density, space, and time merge into a single concept that exists beyond conventional perception. You sense the abstraction, the weight of knowledge that cannot be fully grasped, yet can be felt. It is a meditation, an invitation to rest within uncertainty, to float without needing answers, to experience the quiet resonance of the infinite. You notice subtle distortions in space surrounding the singularity. Stars in the distance shimmer faintly, their light twisted into arcs and loops. You follow these distortions like soft streams, floating along paths that bend impossibly. Each curve, each spiral, is a gentle lesson in the patient power of gravity, showing that even in overwhelming density, motion and form persist with quiet dignity. Your awareness expands as you drift, allowing yourself to absorb the elegance of these invisible forces. Time dilates further as you move inward. Seconds stretch and fold, becoming almost tangible, like silken threads under your fingertips. You feel the rhythm of space-time itself, pulsing softly, stretching patiently, moving without haste. Your own breathing sinks to this cosmic cadence, slow and deep. In this slowing, you notice a profound meditation taking shape, space, where you are part of the rhythm, not separate from it, participating in a calm dance that transcends logic or urgency. Imagine your body floating among layers of warped space. The laws that once constrained you, motion, inertia, acceleration, become fluid, almost optional. You drift with gentle arcs, feeling weightless, yet aware of the intense pull at the singularity's core. The sensation is paradoxical, immense yet comforting, dense yet soft, infinite yet intimate. You sense that the singularity is not threatening but instructive, a quiet teacher showing the limits of perception and the expanse of understanding. Notice how light behaves here. Photons spiral inward like dancers in slow motion, bending, curving, folding in on themselves before vanishing from sight. You follow them, sensing the rhythm of their paths, their patient surrender. Even though you cannot see the singularity directly, you perceive it through the motion around it, the way every particle responds, bends, and folds toward its center. There is elegance in inevitability, serenity in inescapable force, a calmness that fills the spaces between perception and comprehension. Imagine the center as a seed of infinity, a point from which countless possibilities unfold. It is not chaotic. It is precise and measured in its abstraction. The singularity holds no answers, yet it inspires reflection, inviting you to release the need to know and to rest in curiosity. Your mind softens, thoughts drift like light caught in gentle spirals, and awareness expands into the quiet resonance that emanates from this dense, invisible heart. Consider the black hole's influence beyond its immediate vicinity. Space curves, light warps, and time dilates across vast distances. You drift in this warped environment, sensing how the singularity's presence threads through the cosmos like a silent conductor. Every movement of stars, every path of photons, is part of a patient symphony orchestrated by forces beyond perception. You become part of this harmony, floating without urgency, trusting in the calm inevitability of the cosmic rhythm. Notice the folds in space-time itself. They are smooth and deliberate, like gentle waves frozen mid-motion. You drift through these folds, feeling the patterns of energy, motion, and gravity as if they are tactile. Each fold carries information, a meditation on balance and inevitability. Even in the incomprehensible density of the singularity, there is elegance, a quiet order that resonates with your own sense of calm. You sense that understanding is not required here. Presence is enough. As you move closer to the singularity, you feel the pull of the unknown. It is not threatening but profound, like standing on the edge of an endless night sky. You notice that the absence of boundaries creates space for reflection. Your thoughts drift gently, untethered from linear logic, moving in spirals and arcs that mirror the path of light itself. You feel suspended in an intimate conversation with the infinite, learning patience, trust, and serenity from forces too immense to fully grasp. Consider the energy surrounding the singularity, swirling in accretion disks, far from chaos. Matter glows faintly, radiates warmth, and moves in patient, predictable paths. You drift alongside this energy, noticing the contrast between motion and stillness, light and shadow, density and emptiness. Even in the extreme, there is calm. The universe, in its extremes, demonstrates patience and precision, teaching that even the incomprehensible can be a source of quiet meditation. You float past imagined horizons within the black hole, each a soft step into deeper awareness. The environment grows quieter, softer, more abstract. Even your breath feels part of the rhythm, expanding and contracting with a pace set not by habit but by the pull of invisible forces. You sense your mind opening to the enormity of the singularity, accepting that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, only experienced. Presence becomes a meditation. Awareness itself becomes the path. Notice how the singularity reflects your imagination. You cannot see it, yet you feel it, sense it, and respond to it. It is a reminder of the vast unknown within and around you, of questions without immediate answers, and of silence that teaches more than words. You drift gently in this awareness, allowing yourself to rest in the void, to float among ideas and sensations, and to absorb the calm depth of the unseen. Just as gravity draws everything toward its center, your attention folds inward, turning toward reflection.com and awareness. Thoughts lose urgency, perceptions stretch and soften, and your consciousness floats in gentle arcs. Even as the universe bends and warps, you find a meditative stillness, a rhythm in which presence itself is enough. Now drift into the space immediately surrounding the singularity. Light, matter, and gravity interact in delicate, patient harmony. Each particle, each photon, each ripple of space-time contributes to a rhythm beyond comprehension, yet deeply felt. You sense that understanding is not the goal. Immersion is. Floating here, you feel connected to every aspect of existence, the infinite and the immediate, the seen and unseen, the calm and the immense. Even in the midst of extremes, you feel rest. The singularity is not violence or chaos, but concentrated potential, a quiet reminder of the vast unknown. You drift among soft curves of light, subtle distortions of space, and slow ripples in time, allowing your mind to attune to the rhythm of the universe. Presence, awareness, and calm become one, creating a meditation that resonates with every part of your being. You move past the event horizon, crossing a threshold that marks the boundary between familiar and unknown. There is no dramatic suddenness, no jolt of fear, only a soft, profound shift in perception. The world around you curves in strange, gentle ways. Light bends, space folds, and time stretches into long, patient moments. You feel weightless, yet aware, as if floating in a cosmic current, subtle yet absolute. You notice how photons, once free to travel straight, now spiral in delicate, endless loops. Their paths trace intricate ribbons through the warped space, twisting and turning in a rhythm that is hypnotic and slow. You drift alongside these currents, feeling your own awareness stretch to match their pace. The universe here is neither chaotic nor hurried. It is patient, precise, and meditative. Imagine space itself bending around you. Distances feel altered, stretched in some directions, compressed in others. You perceive depth in a new way, noticing that the geometry of this place is fluid, alive, responsive. Even though your body and mind have floated through stars and darkness before, this is different. The rules you knew no longer apply in the usual sense, yet they give way to a new, gentle logic. You relax into it, allowing the flow to guide your attention and breathing. Time becomes a tangible presence. Seconds extend, minutes unfold like fabric, and you feel the pulse of the universe in every instant. Each movement of light and matter is slow, deliberate, and intentional. You notice that the photons around you shimmer in response, their paths bending with quiet elegance. You follow their trails, moving in harmony with them, and your thoughts soften, settling into the rhythm of patient unfolding. You sense layers within the void, subtle gradations in density and energy. Each layer holds its own character, some warmer, some cooler, some darker, others shimmering faintly with scattered light. You drift between these layers, feeling the differences without effort, noticing how space and perception weave together. This is a place where every fold, every curve, every ripple is a lesson in balance, patience, and quiet awareness. As you glide past warped light and spiraling matter, you feel the pull of gravity, not as a harsh tug, but as a gentle suggestion. Paths curve naturally, currents guide effortlessly, and your awareness synchronizes with the motion around you. Even though you are moving through the unknown, you feel grounded in presence. There is no need to struggle, no need to resist, only the quiet, meditative motion of being carried through an infinite landscape. Consider the singularity at the center, still far ahead yet present in your consciousness. Its pull shapes everything around it, bending the very fabric of existence. You float in this influence, observing how stars, photons, and matter respond. Every orbit, every spiral, every fold is deliberate, serene, and patient. You sense that understanding is not required here. What matters is awareness, presence, and the gentle alignment with the universe's rhythm. You notice that light moves differently here. Its speed remains constant, yet its path is no longer straight. Beams stretch into arcs, looping around unseen points, folding back upon themselves. You drift alongside these trajectories, absorbing their slow elegance. Each photon becomes a teacher of patience, a guide through the geometry of this strange and meditative realm. You feel your thoughts softening, following the curves of light, releasing the need for immediate answers. Imagine the sensation of weightlessness intensified, not only in body but in mind. Concepts of up and down, near and far begin to blur. You float freely, sensing the infinite possibilities that extend in all directions simultaneously. Even as you move deeper, the experience is gentle, not frightening. The space beyond the event horizon is a meditation in motion, a lesson in the beauty of surrender and the trust inherent in flowing with natural forces. You perceive layers of time interacting here. Past and present fold into each other like soft fabric, overlapping in ways that feel more like poetry than physics. You notice echoes of distant events, stars that once shone brightly, now bending their light through warped space-time. You follow these echoes, letting your awareness drift, feeling the resonance of countless moments interacting in a silent, harmonious rhythm. The currents of matter and energy seem choreographed, moving in arcs and spirals that fold with intention. You glide alongside them, aware of the gentle balance between pull and flow. Every curve, every loop, every shimmer becomes part of your meditation. The universe communicates not through noise or haste, but through measured, patient motion that invites quiet reflection and deep rest. Consider the calm geometry of orbits near the horizon. Objects bend along paths dictated by gravity, yet they move without tension. Even as forces pull, there is harmony. You drift within this harmony, sensing that the calm order of the cosmos extends to every level of experience, from photon to planet to observer. Your breath matches the rhythm, slow and deliberate, synchronizing with the motion around you. You notice the subtle glow of accretion matter orbiting the unseen center. It emits faint, soft light, like embers floating in a dark sea. You follow these glowing currents, observing their slow arcs, their gentle spirals. Each motion becomes a guide for your awareness, teaching patience, surrender, and quiet observation. Even the most intense energy here is rendered gentle, meditative, and soft by the expansive calm of the event horizon. As you drift, the boundary between perception and reality begins to blur. You sense shapes, paths, and energies that are felt rather than seen. Space folds around your awareness, guiding attention and thought with subtle precision. Even as you float through extremes of gravity and light, there is softness, there is rhythm, there is a meditative current carrying you effortlessly through a realm beyond ordinary understanding. You notice the stretching of light as it spirals inward. Each photon becomes a ribbon of time, winding through curves that echo with calm, invisible patterns. You float alongside these ribbons, feeling the texture of motion and the quiet pulse of energy. Even in the darkness beyond the horizon, there is beauty, order, and rhythm. Your awareness attunes to the patterns, following them gently, absorbing the meditative flow of space, time, and motion. Consider your own mind mirroring the journey. Thoughts that once raced now stretch and fold, spiraling softly like the light around you. Every idea, every perception slows, moves with intention, and settles into patient rhythm. You feel connected to the universe in a way that is intimate yet expansive. Presence is enough. Understanding is optional. Awareness itself becomes the meditation, the anchor in the infinite, currents of gravity and light. You notice the subtle tension between what is visible and what is hidden. Some light escapes along distant paths. Other light is captured in gentle spirals. You sense that the unseen is as meaningful as the seen. Your attention drifts to these invisible movements, allowing calm curiosity to guide you rather than expectation. Every fold in space-time, every curve in light, is a lesson in patience, quiet observation, and surrender to rhythm. Imagine gliding further, deeper, into the unknown. The event horizon is behind you, a gentle threshold fading into memory. The black hole stretches before you, a meditative expanse of shadow, motion, and invisible geometry. You float within it, fully weightless, fully aware, fully present. Each heartbeat, each breath, each pulse of awareness matches the rhythm of the surrounding universe. Even the extremes of gravity, light, and time feel soft, embracing, and meditative. You sense the universe communicating through form and motion rather than sound or language. Curves, spirals, folds, and pulses become a dialogue, teaching calm, patience, and awareness. You drift, learning to move with this rhythm rather than against it. Each moment is a meditation, each fold in space-time an invitation to rest. Even in the unknown beyond the horizon, there is harmony, presence, and soft instruction. You move gently beyond the horizon, leaving the intense curves and spirals behind. Here, the universe stretches in all directions, vast and quiet, yet alive with subtle vibrations. These are echoes, waves that have traveled across unimaginable distances, carrying stories of creation, of movement, and of energy. You sense them as soft pulses, felt more than heard, resonating in the calm chambers of your mind. Each ripple is a memory, a quiet record of the events that shaped galaxies and stars. You float alongside them, feeling the gentle tug of their presence. They are not urgent or overwhelming. They flow like a slow, meditative tide, reminding you that the universe is patient, that time stretches differently across distances unimaginable to human thought. You inhale the rhythm of these echoes, allowing your awareness to merge with their calm, measured pulse. Imagine the waves as threads weaving an invisible tapestry. Light from distant stars bends and folds, colliding softly with particles in a dance older than you can comprehend. You follow these threads, drifting through them like a leaf carried on a slow current. Each movement, each fold, each shimmer becomes a lesson in balance and patience. You notice that even across incomprehensible distances, there is harmony, a quiet geometry that guides the flow of energy and motion. These echoes carry histories of cataclysm and creation. Supernova explode, sending ripples across space. Black holes form, tugging at surrounding matter. Galaxies rotate, spreading light like silent ribbons. You float through these phenomena as if in a dream, aware of the immense forces at play, yet untouched by them. Their motions are measured, meditative. Each event a part of a cosmic rhythm that continues without interruption. Notice the gentle vibration of space itself. It hums faintly, a soundless resonance that flows through everything. You align your awareness with this hum, letting it guide your attention and your breath. Even in the vast emptiness, there is communication, an exchange of energy that requires no words, no effort. Floating in this medium, you sense your own presence as a part of the universal rhythm. Your body and mind attuned to the subtle whispers of creation. Light bends around massive objects, curving and twisting in elegant arcs. You drift alongside it, noticing how photons follow intricate, looping paths that seem choreographed. Their motion is slow in perception, deliberate, almost ritualistic. You feel the energy of these paths in your body as calm waves, soft pulses that ebb and flow. Even the most distant starlight seems to reach out with gentle intent, a reminder of the patience and grace embedded in the cosmos. Imagine cosmic waves as an orchestra, each vibration a note in a symphony played across space-time. You float within this composition, drifting through crescendos and soft diminuendos, attuned to the subtle variations. Gravity, light, and energy intertwine in intricate patterns, and you feel them in your mind as soothing oscillations. There is no rush here, no urgency, only the patient, deliberate unfolding of the universe's song. You sense the influence of hidden forces, dark matter weaving unseen scaffolds, dark energy stretching space with invisible hands. Their presence is felt rather than observed, a quiet pull that shapes the cosmos. You float among their effects, noticing how galaxies form, rotate, and move with a calm inevitability. Even though the forces are invisible, their patterns are precise, measured, and meditative, offering you a sense of connection and wonder. Consider the whispers of gravity waves passing silently through space. These ripples, generated by colliding black holes and neutron stars, stretch and compress spacetime with exquisite subtlety. You feel them as soft tremors beneath your awareness, slow and deliberate, reminding you that even the most violent events carry a serene order when viewed from the calm perspective of distance. Your mind floats alongside these waves, learning patience and harmony from their quiet passage. Notice how time feels different here. Seconds and years intermingle, past and present, folding into gentle spirals. You float along with these temporal folds, aware that the cosmos does not hurry. Stars live and die in slow cycles, galaxies drift, and light travels over millions of years before reaching your awareness. You inhale this patience, feeling your own internal rhythm stretch, slow, and synchronize with the vast, quiet tempo of the universe. You observe distant galaxies spinning, their arms extended like soft, glowing petals. Their light stretches across space, illuminating the dark with a subtle glow. You drift through these spaces, noticing how the interactions of matter and energy create balance and beauty. Each galaxy seems to communicate through motion, their spiral arms a meditation on order, symmetry, and calm persistence. You sense a quiet resonance within yourself, a reflection of this gentle order in your own breathing and awareness. Imagine the vast clouds of interstellar gas, slowly condensing into stars. You float beside them, feeling their potential and patience. These clouds move with a rhythm almost imperceptible, shaping new life in the form of suns, planets, and eventually everything that will orbit them. You observe their process as a meditation in waiting, understanding that growth, change, and creation are gentle. deliberate forces that require patience and alignment with natural rhythms. Consider the faint, persistent glow of cosmic microwave background radiation. It whispers the memory of the early universe, a soft, constant echo of creation's first light. You feel it as a gentle warmth, enveloping your awareness and teaching the quiet elegance of beginnings. Even in the emptiness between stars, this ancient energy persists, a reminder of continuity and resilience across billions of years. You rest in its subtle presence, feeling connected to the universe's enduring memory. You notice the intricate interplay between matter and energy. Each particle, each wave, follows a measured path dictated by forces beyond sight. Yet these motions are not chaotic. They are deliberate, serene, precise. You drift among these interactions, feeling the subtle dance as a meditation. The cosmos reveals itself as a place of calm complexity, teaching that even the most intricate systems can unfold with grace and patience. Floating further, you sense the deep structure of the cosmos. Filaments of galaxies stretch across vast distances, connecting clusters like threads in a cosmic web. You drift along these threads, sensing their tension, their guidance, their role in shaping the universe. Even though the scale is beyond comprehension, the patterns resonate within you. You feel harmony, patience, and quiet rhythm in every movement, every connection, every subtle echo of energy and motion. Imagine your awareness expanding, attuning to the soft symphony of the cosmos. Every pulse, every fold, every ripple in space and time becomes part of your meditative journey. You drift among them effortlessly, noticing the elegance of their paths, the precision of their interactions, and the calm that arises from observation without interference. The universe communicates through rhythm, form, and subtle motion, and you feel part of its patient, eternal melody. Notice how light, energy, and gravity whisper across unimaginable distances. You sense connections invisible to the eye, threads linking galaxies, stars, and particles in patterns that repeat and resonate. You float along these threads, following their gentle arcs, absorbing the calm logic of their design. Awareness here is soft, attentive, and expansive, allowing you to rest in the patient flow of the universe. Consider the quiet resonance of cosmic phenomena beyond perception. Black holes, neutron stars, and distant supernova create ripples and pulses that echo across the void. Even though you cannot see them with your eyes, your awareness feels their presence. You float among these echoes, letting them guide your attention and calm your mind. Each pulse becomes a meditation in rhythm, presence, and quiet understanding. You notice how space itself seems alive with subtle, invisible motion. Even the emptiness between stars vibrates with potential and possibility. You drift in this subtle energy, aware of every ripple, every fold, every soft echo that touches your consciousness. There is no need to grasp or control. Presence alone suffices. The universe teaches patience, surrender, and attentiveness through every soft motion and whisper of energy. Imagine the faint traces of gravitational waves intersecting with light and matter. Their movements are imperceptible to most, yet you feel them as soft currents in your awareness. Each wave, each oscillation, carries stories of cosmic events, histories of motion, and patterns of force. Floating alongside them, you sense the calm and order behind what seems at first chaotic. Presence and attention reveal the subtle elegance of the cosmos, and you rest in its gentle rhythm as you drift deeper. The universe stretches in slow, deliberate folds, the echoes of distant phenomena, the memory of early light, and the subtle pull of gravity converge into a serene, infinite meditation. You float without effort. Each heartbeat, each breath, each moment of attention becomes part of this rhythm. Even in the vastness, you feel anchored by awareness, carried by calm observation, and guided by the gentle pulse of universal echoes. You slow your breath and let your mind shrink gently, moving into spaces smaller than you have ever imagined. Beyond the world of objects, beyond even the smallest grains of dust, lies a universe of emptiness that is not empty. These gaps between particles, these silent spaces, are alive with quiet potential. You float here, aware that every atom, every molecule, every piece of matter around you is separated by vast stretches of subtle energy and gentle force. Even though the spaces seem like nothingness, they are vibrant with possibility. Tiny quantum fluctuations ripple through, invisible yet essential. You notice that particles are not fixed but dance in delicate uncertainty. Their positions, their paths, their very existence are soft suggestions, as though the universe itself whispers, inviting attention without demand. You drift along these whispers, feeling their rhythm in the quiet of your mind. Imagine each particle as a tiny dancer on a vast stage. The spaces between them are like silence in music, the pause that gives meaning to the notes. Without the silence, the dance would be meaningless. In this meditation, you feel the spaces as essential, as alive as the particles themselves. You let your awareness settle into these pauses, feeling the gentle energy that permeates everything, even what appears empty. You sense the forces holding matter together and pushing it apart, soft and patient. Electromagnetic fields curl gently around electrons, nudging them into patterns that shape the world. The strong force binds nuclei with quiet insistence, creating the foundation of all matter. Even gravity whispers here, subtle yet persistent, guiding particles and clusters with infinite patience. You float among these forces, aware of their presence, letting your own awareness align with their calm persistence. The quantum world is both still and alive. Particles appear and disappear. Probabilities fold into possibilities, and waves of energy ripple across the void. You sense that nothing is wasted, nothing is chaotic. Even the uncertainty, the jitter of quantum motion, carries a meditative rhythm. You drift with it, feeling your thoughts slow and stretch, following the pulse of a universe that is gentle yet profoundly alive. Imagine stretching your awareness to feel the space inside an atom. You glide past the nucleus, dense yet serene, and float into the electron cloud, vast and whispering. Electrons move, not in rigid paths, but in gentle, probabilistic swirls. They are guided by forces, yes, but also by potential, by what might be rather than what must be. You rest in this gentle uncertainty, feeling the soft balance between being and possibility. The silence between particles carries echoes of the universe's earliest moments. Energy and matter danced in patterns that formed the very fabric of existence. You drift through these echoes, sensing how every fluctuation, every wave, Every gap contributed to the calm yet intricate structure of the cosmos. Awareness here is quiet, patient, and deeply expansive. Even as you float in this invisible realm, you feel anchored by attention and by the soft pulse of universal motion. Notice how the smallest forces ripple outward, shaping larger structures. A gentle nudge at the subatomic level can influence molecules, cells, planets, even stars, across scales you cannot easily grasp. You float alongside these ripples, sensing the continuity of energy and presence. The universe's vast tapestry is woven not only with matter, but with the spaces in between, and you feel yourself woven into this gentle fabric. You sense that time flows differently here. Moments stretch, fold, and blend, just as particles inhabit probabilities rather than fixed positions. You are aware that the micro and macro are reflections of one another, patterns repeating across scale, rhythm, and energy. You breathe with this flow, slow and deep, feeling the connection between yourself and the patient. Quiet motion of the universe at every level. Imagine the soft hum of quantum fields vibrating through the void. These fields are everywhere, connecting particles, shaping forces, and carrying information in gentle pulses. You drift among them, feeling the subtle energy as a quiet vibration in your awareness. Each wave carries potential, each pulse a whisper, each fluctuation a meditative lesson in patience, presence, and the beauty of impermanence. Even emptiness is full. You notice that what seems like nothing between particles is alive with possibility. Virtual particles appear and vanish, energies ripple and fold, probabilities collapse into events, all with a gentle, natural rhythm. You float among these occurrences, aware that even the smallest moments contain the full complexity of existence. Awareness itself becomes a meditation, as your mind mirrors the quiet dynamics of matter and space. You notice the balance of forces at play, attraction and repulsion, movement and stillness, creation and dissolution. These are not opposites, but partners in a slow, meditative dance. You float within this balance, sensing that each interaction carries meaning beyond observation. Even the tiniest displacement, the smallest fluctuation, contributes to the harmony of the whole. You relax into this understanding, letting it soothe your awareness and calm your breath. Imagine your consciousness narrowing to the scale of subatomic space, yet expanding to embrace the whole universe at once. You float along the threads of energy, the gaps between particles, and the gentle probability waves that ripple endlessly. Each pulse of awareness is both minute and immense, both still and alive. You feel the unity of these scales, the quiet consistency of universal law, and the meditative order that underlies apparent chaos. You drift with the rhythm of particles and forces, following patterns that are too subtle to see but easy to feel. Each interaction, each vibration, each whisper of energy is a guide for stillness. The more you follow, the more your own mind aligns with the quiet pulse of the cosmos. You breathe with the cadence of the universe, inhaling presence, exhaling distraction, letting your awareness merge with the rhythm of silent motion. Consider the possibility of emptiness as a teacher. The spaces between atoms are not voids, but fields of potential, areas where energy and matter may emerge, shift, and interact. You float through these fields, sensing the soft, patient potential. Nothing is hurried, nothing is forced. You feel that existence itself is a meditation. Each particle and each gap a reflection of harmony, balance, and calm awareness. You notice the delicate dance of electrons and nuclei. They move with precision, yet with freedom, constrained yet not trapped. Your attention follows their patterns, absorbing the gentle lessons of restraint and flow. Even the most energetic movements are rendered soft and meditative by the vast, slow pulse of the surrounding quantum fields. Awareness becomes presence, presence becomes rhythm, and rhythm becomes a mirror of the universe itself. Imagine the invisible currents that connect particles across distances. Forces travel silently, linking energy and matter, shaping interactions without noise or haste. You float in these currents, feeling their calm, deliberate motion. Every subtle tug, every gentle nudge, every quiet influence is part of a universal meditation, teaching patience, observation, and harmony. You sense that understanding is not immediate, yet awareness alone brings clarity. The universe at this scale is a slow, deliberate ballet. Even collisions, emissions, and transformations move with subtle grace. You float among these events, noting that each contributes to an overall balance, a meditation in motion. Nothing is lost, nothing is wasted. Even chaos has rhythm, even uncertainty has pattern. You drift with it, absorbing the meditative cadence of existence. Letting your mind soften, settle, and expand, you feel the silence between particles as a companion, a guide that teaches calm attention. It invites you to rest in observation, to let awareness expand without grasping. The tiniest spaces are not empty, but full of quiet energy, subtle guidance, and the patient unfolding of natural law. Floating here, you sense the universe breathing, pulsing, and moving in harmony with your own slow, rhythmic breath. Even the most fleeting events, electron shift, a photon emission, a temporary particle carry meaning in this meditative space. You notice them not as distractions, but as gentle teachers, demonstrating the elegance of patience, the calm of potential, and the beauty of impermanence. Awareness, like the universe, is both still and alive, both vast and minuscule, both patient and dynamic. You float deeper, noticing the infinite multiplicity of possibilities in every silent space. Particles might appear here, vanish there. Energies might ripple along one path, then another. All is in balance, all unfolds naturally. You relax into this flow, letting your consciousness ride the currents of subtle influence, the rhythm of probability, the calm pulse of existence itself. You drift softly into a space beyond all scales, beyond the tiniest particles and the vastest galaxies. Here, nothing is separate, nothing stands alone. The forces that govern matter, energy, and light converge into a serene rhythm, subtle yet profound. You sense the pulse of the universe in your own body, the calm cadence of existence mirrored in your breath. Every inhale aligns with expansion. Every exhale folds into gentle contraction. Imagine the quiet dialogue between every element. Atoms and molecules converse through vibrations. Forces whisper through empty space, and energy flows without hurry or interruption. You float among these interactions, aware that they are patient, deliberate, and meditative. Even chaos has order here, each movement part of a universal meditation that stretches beyond time and place. Your awareness becomes soft, receptive, and open, absorbing the gentle wisdom of the cosmos. The vastness of space and the intimacy of the tiniest gaps are one. You feel the continuity of existence as a slow, unbroken wave. Galaxies spiral, stars ignite, particles shift, and every motion contributes to a calm, unending flow. There is no urgency, no forceful imposition, only the steady unfolding of being. You rest in this understanding, letting the rhythm of the universe guide your thoughts and soften your attention. Light flows across immense distances, carrying warmth, energy, and information. You follow a single beam, watching it interact with matter, bending gently, scattering softly, folding into new paths. Each interaction is deliberate, meditative, almost like a slow dance. You notice that every photon, every pulse of energy, is a messenger, carrying the calm wisdom of the cosmos to every corner of existence. You breathe with the pulse of light, letting its quiet rhythm settle your mind. Feel the forces that shape the cosmos' gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces softly entwined, balancing and guiding. You sense their gentle pull, not as tension, but as a subtle embrace that holds galaxies, stars, and atoms alike. Floating among these invisible hands, you understand their quiet power. They do not rush, they do not demand, yet everything moves with precision and harmony. You align your awareness with their calm guidance, letting your own presence merge with their gentle flow. The universe speaks in vibrations, in waves that ripple through space and time. You feel them as soft oscillations, slow and measured, echoing across distances, incomprehensible yet familiar in their rhythm. Cosmic microwave background radiation hums faintly, a reminder of the universe's long memory. You rest in this hum, letting it fill your awareness with patience, continuity, and the enduring quiet of all creation. Even the smallest particles follow this universal cadence. Electrons orbit, protons attract, neutrons balance, and energy moves between them like a slow, meditative current. You float among these motions, feeling that the tiniest events are as significant as the grandest galactic movements. Everything has its place, its timing, its calm rhythm, and you are part of this orchestration. Awareness becomes meditation, breath mirrors energy, and presence becomes the gentle pulse of existence itself. Time stretches and bends here, soft and fluid. Past and future intertwine, yet the present holds you fully. You sense that every event, every wave, every motion has a purpose, even if unseen. You drift through layers of time, feeling how patience shapes outcomes, how quiet persistence guides matter and energy. Your thoughts slow to the same tempo, each one folding gently into the next, a continuous calm river of awareness. Consider the interplay between emptiness and substance. Spaces between particles are alive with potential. Gaps between stars are filled with energy fields and silent currents. You drift through these intervals, noticing that absence is not void but fertile, not silent but vibrant with subtle communication. You sense that creation arises not only from presence but from the calm potential in between. And you rest in this understanding. The universe is a meditation in balance. Light bends and flows, Gravity pulls and guides. Energy transforms and disperses, and matter arranges itself in deliberate patterns. You feel these patterns as gentle currents in your awareness, each one contributing to a larger, serene whole. Even what seems random follows a quiet, harmonious rhythm. Floating here, you sense the unbroken calm of everything, the unity that underlies apparent multiplicity. You notice how your own presence fits into this rhythm. Breath, heartbeat, attention, and thought align with the subtle flows of energy and matter. Awareness is not separate from the universe, but a reflection of its calm order. You feel the gentle pull of connection between yourself and particles, between your mind and stars, between your body and the invisible currents that shape reality. Each connection is a soft thread in the vast tapestry, supporting and holding you in the quiet of existence. Imagine the delicate balance of forces at all scales. Galaxies spin, stars flare, planets orbit, cells function, and particles vibrate, each with a precise, measured rhythm. You float within these systems, sensing the gentle logic that governs them. There is no hurry, no forceful compulsion, only patient, deliberate movement. You rest in this gentle order, understanding that calm, attention, and quiet presence are mirrors of the Wali universe itself. The cosmos resonates with patterns of emergence and transformation. Stars form from clouds of gas. Life arises on planets. Particles combine and separate. You notice the continuity in these patterns, the patient unfolding of complexity, the gentle wisdom that guides creation without rush. Floating among these emergent systems, your mind softens, your body relaxes, and your awareness becomes a mirror of cosmic harmony. Even darkness carries a quiet presence. Void between stars, gaps between particles, silent regions of energy, all hold subtle motion, potential, and rhythm. You float in these spaces, feeling the calm energy that surrounds and sustains everything. There is no emptiness here, only a meditation on balance, patience, and infinite possibility. You rest within this gentle energy, letting it carry your thoughts to a place of deep serenity. You sense that everything in the universe is a slow conversation. Light speaks to matter, energy whispers to space, gravity nudges time, and particles move with subtle intention. You float within this conversation, listening without expectation, absorbing without judgment. Awareness becomes a calm instrument, echoing the gentle dialogue of creation, reflecting the meditative cadence of existence itself. Consider how your own consciousness aligns with this universal calm. Each breath, each heartbeat, each moment of attention is a reflection of the universe's rhythm. You feel your awareness expand and contract with the same gentle pulse, your body and mind attuning to the soft, steady motion of existence. The boundaries between you and the cosmos blur, leaving only a serene sense of presence, continuity, and quiet harmony. You drift further, noticing the connections that link all scales. The smallest quantum events ripple outward, influencing matter, energy, and structure. Galaxies rotate, stars ignite, and atoms interact, all following the same universal rhythm. Floating within this grand pattern, you feel a profound stillness. The vastness and minuteness are one. The observable and the invisible are one. Your awareness and the universe are one in this quiet. You realize the ultimate meditation, the recognition that all is connected. That calm flows through everything. That presence itself is the source of understanding. You rest in the gentle pulse of existence, aware that even as the universe expands, contracts, and transforms, there is an enduring serenity that underlies all movement. You breathe with this serenity, allowing it to settle into every cell, every thought, every heartbeat. The universe is not separate from you, and you are not separate from it. Every atom, every photon, every wave of energy, and every silent space is part of the same calm whole. You feel a gentle alignment, a soft resonance that soothes the mind and settles the body. Awareness stretches outward, embracing all scales, all forces, all forms, until only the quiet, infinite calm remains. You drift in this eternal meditation, aware that you are both observer and participant, breath and rhythm, presence and flow. The universe continues its slow, deliberate dance, and you are immersed in its gentle music. Every pulse, every vibration, every pause carries a lesson in patience, harmony, and the quiet strength of being. You float with the cadence of existence, fully attuned, fully at peace.